Hey, I'm Tyler.
And I'm Katie. You're listening to Not-Stalgia, the podcast where all of your favorite characters collide.
How did you know? Do you know what we're going to watch?
You've been hinting at it weirdly, but I have no idea what we're going to watch. You've been calling it the Avengers of the Universal Monsters. I am scared.
Well, Kate, what do you know about Abbott and Costello?
Do they do Who's On First?
They do.
They do that. They're a comedy duo. Mm-hmm. One man is a straight man, and he's very serious. The other man is a funny man, and he's not serious.
Have you ever seen them?
I think every time I've seen them, which is maybe between like half and 3 times, they always just look very surprised.
I'd say that's pretty accurate, especially the...
I feel like their suits are real big.
Silly man. I think that's pretty accurate, too.
All right, Kate, suits.
I think you've already answered this question, kind of. But
are you going to show me a picture?
Oh, sure. Have you ever seen the film Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein?
Oh, God, no.
Here's the poster.
It's a grand new idea for fun.
That's the tagline. Let's zoom in on this. Okay, you see what's going on up in the corner?
All right, so we got Frankenstein, and he's running with his real big shoes.
Uh-huh.
And then, is that the Wolfman?
Uh-huh.
Why is he green?
I think it's just the limited colors they were able to print this poster with.
Okay.
With screen printing techniques in the 40s.
And then you got Dracula looking like one of those Capri Sun melty people. And then at the top, there's also like a witch in the house.
Oh, yeah.
And she's running out.
Oh, okay. There's like a haunted house. How about here they are? Do they look surprised like you thought?
One of them looks surprised. The other one just looks like he might be drinking on set.
Do you know who's who?
I think the one who is drinking on set, and there's a 50-50 chance that I could get this right. I think that one is Abbott.
Are you talking about the one on the left?
Yeah.
And you think this is Abbott?
Yeah.
And this is Costello?
Yeah.
You have it backwards.
Oh, 50-50 chance.
Take a look at this cast list, Kate. Other than Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
All right. We got the Wolfman, played by Lon Chaney. Excellent. Dracula, played by Bela Lugosi. And then the monster, played by Glenn Strange.
Not who you were expecting. You were expecting
Glenn.
Boris Karloff?
Who invited you, Glenn?
Well, look, wait. We got 2 ladies down here, too.
Yep. We got 2 Universal women, Lenore Aubert and Jane Randolph.
This is so small. Their names, which are much smaller than all the men's names. This is very similar to the Eye Doctor, where they make you read the chart across the room.
Welcome to womanhood.
All right, Kate, try covering your left eye and reading her name now.
Lenore and Jane probably will be laying down at some point in this film.
Maybe not. I think
I'm hesitant to call it a film.
I'm hoping they might surprise you. Well, Kate, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein premiered in June 1948. I can't find it. Usually there's a date, an actual date when they held the premiere, but cannot find it. Just June 1948. It was directed by Charles Barton. It was written by Robert Lees, Frederick L. Rinaldo, and John Grant. Of course, you just listed the cast list. So we get Bud Abbott, Lou Costello, Bela Lugosi as Dracula, Lon Chaney Jr. as the Wolfman, reprising their roles. And then they couldn't get Boris Karloff for some reason, so this guy Glenn Strange is Frankenstein's monster. Real quick, Kate, Bud Abbott, born 1897, and Lou Costello, born 1906, were comedy performers in New York separately. They were not a team yet in the 20s and 30s, but one fateful night in 1935, Costello's partner was sick, so Abbott, who happened to be at that theater, filled in for the partner. And from then on, they kind of teamed up, built and refined their routines. Abbott is the straight man, Costello is the silly guy. And of course, as you said, their most famous and popular routine is Who's On First, which, like all of these vaudeville and burlesque routines, it wasn't necessarily like written and invented by them. It goes back really far, and versions of it with that same premise, maybe not baseball, but, another version where it's all the names or, words like that.
And it all feels like vaguely racist.
Well, sometimes. But their version is the one that became super famous. Anyway, they are performing on stage from 1935 on. There's a whole thing I'm trying not to get into here, but now I'm getting into it about the difference between vaudeville and burlesque. They were technically burlesque performers, which isn't what it sounds like.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it is. They were not the ones doing the striptease, but the difference I learned today doing these notes between vaudeville and burlesque is that they're basically the same, but burlesque does all the comedy and songs and then usually also has a striptease segment. That's
excellent.
Anyway, they break into radio and get their own show that's really, really successful. And this is what catapults them to stardom partially. The Abbott and Costello show on radio from 1940 to 1949. Same year, 1940, they're also cast for the first time in a movie called One Night in the Tropics. They're just supporting cast. They're just there to be like funny guys in the background, but they get to do a few of their routines and they kind of steal the show. It's one of those movies where like, that's what it's known for now, is them breaking into the movie industry. They're so sort of popular stealing the show in that movie. They get multi-picture contracts. They get starring roles in the next few films. They make a bunch of movies all throughout the 40s. Most of them are like not most of them. A lot of them are World War II comedies.
I feel like someone's like pants are always falling down in these.
I'm not an expert. These were not my guys because the Three Stooges were my guys. And for some reason as a kid, I literally was like it was a zero-sum game. If I like the Three Stooges, I don't want to watch Abbott and Costello. I don't want to watch the Marx Brothers.
What year are you in? What year were you born in? You make
Kate.
fun of me.
I was just a little boy who loved the Three Stooges.
And couldn't possibly love Abbott and Costello.
I felt like a betrayal to my beloved Stooges.
What is a stooge?
Hey, we talked about that on our Three Stooges episode. Go back and listen, Kate. We literally defined what a stooge is in vaudeville.
I don't care.
So one of the movies they made in 1941 was called Hold That Ghost, and it was a horror comedy, which is important because that's what this is too, what we're going to watch today. So they've already done it. They were the highest paid entertainers during World War II and arguably the most successful. But in 1945, they started fighting behind the scenes and they almost broke up. It's like every team ever in any form of entertainment.
I just can't imagine what their fights would be like.
Oh, like slapstick,
like
ridiculous.
A slapstick vaudeville fight.
I did not delve in enough, but the one line I saw on Wikipedia said that one of them fired their housekeeper. Don't know why. I assume whatever happened is not good, and they probably weren't treating the housekeeper right. I don't know. And then the other one hired the fired housekeeper, and that was part of their fight.
I love a feud like this.
That's like a rich man feud, right?
I want to know more, and I cannot believe, Tyler,
Kate,
that you have not done the right research here.
Read a book about this
I
if
will.
you want the deep dive.
Maybe I will.
We do have new microphones, by the way, if you've been noticing the last few episodes. Katie, you're really, really leaning into it to make funny remarks. I like it. This is a whole new level of podcast performance for you.
That's correct. However, these mic covers do not smell good.
Oh, I
They
bought
really-
fun,
they really
colorful
stink.
ones. Like Katie's got a purple one and I have an orange one, but I think they are made from something
Really,
bad. We
really
shouldn't be
acrid.
inhaling.
It's not good.
Just back up a little bit. You don't have to put your mouth 1 centimeter from the mic for comic effect. Sometimes.
These have been in an Amazon warehouse for 9 years. It's not great.
So in 1945, they're fighting, and I don't know if it's a chicken or egg, but also their movies aren't doing as well. Okay? There's even some movies where like they're in them, but they're not really together in the movie because they're having such a little fight. As they say on Arrested Development, boy fights. Universal Studios, meanwhile, was flagging a little bit too. And by the late 1940s, they were starting to get a little desperate. Behind the scenes, there's some acquisitions going on. They get like partially purchased and do a merger with another studio. It's a whole thing, but they're not doing well as they were in, say, the early 30s when the heyday of the monster movies. Because now we're like 20 years hence almost. So, in a kind of an act of desperation, Universal Pictures hires Abbott and Costello, considered kind of past their prime by 1948 and a little turbulent personally. And they built a movie where they are going to be with 3 of the famous Universal monsters, Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Wolfman. But by then, all of those monster movies, as we mentioned in some previous episodes this month, all those movies had a ton of sequels, which were all considered B movies. Like they were all poor quality, quickly churned out, much cheaper, much less successful than the originals. They were kind of becoming campy. So, it's not like the monsters are prestigious anymore. Abbott and Costello are not prestigious. So this whole movie is kind of like, here, we're going to put a bunch of famous things together and hope it works. Hopefully just the sheer curiosity by the public of the name recognition will make this successful. And literally like Abbott and Costello both thought this was hacky. They didn't want to do it, but they didn't have any other options because they weren't doing well otherwise. The director thought that Abbott and Costello were past their prime. He didn't want to work with them. Bela Lugosi was like, I will not be in a movie where Dracula is made light of. Then he read the script and saw that Dracula really isn't made light of. Like Abbott and Costello are doing all the comedy and the monsters are kind of serious. So he's like, all right, I'll do it. But despite all these potential problems, the movie is a big hit. It revived Abbott and Costello's careers. They get about another 10 years of successful career out of this, where they probably would have broken up otherwise. It helped the struggling Universal Studios stay afloat to this day, and so they made sequels. The first sequel came out the very next year, and this is very interesting and confusing. The title of this movie is Abbott and Costello Meet the Killer Boris Karloff.
What?
So Boris Karloff is in it, so it's like corrects the fact that he's missing in this movie. He's not playing Frankenstein. He's playing like, based on the poster, what looks like a racially insensitive, like Swami kind of guy. But
oh God.
The movie, it seems like it's supposed to be called Abbott and Costello Meet the Killer, but the way that they put the title on screen and on the poster, and I think it ended up being copyrighted this way, makes it look like the movie is called Abbott and Costello Meet the Killer Boris Karloff. So that is the official title of the movie, even though it makes no sense. He's not playing himself. It's just like he had top billing and they wrote it weirdly, so that became the title. Abbott and Costello Meet the Invisible Man, 1951. Abbott and Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, 1953. And finally, Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy, 1955.
Oh, God.
So they made a lot of these We're just watching this one. Promise. This is the one that's kind of famous and well remembered more than the others. I've always wanted to see this movie, Kate. Always. But because you know me, I have a problem. I felt like I couldn't see this movie if I didn't see Dracula, the Wolfman, and Frankenstein. So I've always felt like, well, if I'm going to watch that, I should watch those. And that's why you just spent the month of October 2023 watching all those movies with me. Thanks, Kate.
My hatred of you is boundless.
Are you ready to gear up and watch the Avengers of Universal Monster movies? I felt like it would have been too much for us to learn who Abbott and Costello are for the first time in a movie and learn who all these monsters are for the first time, you know? Maybe just me, maybe not you.
I think a lot of this is too much for me.
Buckle up.
There's a time in everyone's life when they get in trouble. I'm in a mess of it right now.
Now what's wrong?
I got 2 girls.
You know the old saying, everything comes in threes. Now suppose a third girl should fall in love with you.
What's her name?
We'll say her name is Mary.
Is she pretty?
Beautiful.
Naturally, she'd have to be.
Now you have Mary, you have Joan, and you have Sandra. So to prove to you that I'm your pal, your bosom friend, I'll take one of the girls off your hands.
Chick, you're what I call a real pal.
It's all right.
You take Mary.
What is this?
We got an animated opening. Love it.
Yeah, and Frankenstein's caked up.
Look at these insulting coffin shapes for these two men.
Yeah.
How would you feel if you were Lou Costello and you got a little fat squat coffin?
So wait, what?
This is just the opening credits. They've just chosen to animate it.
It's just a weird choice. Here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein?
Yes.
That's what it's called?
That's the title.
Okay. But also these guys.
These guys are in it, but the title is Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, which is interesting. Why just call it that? I guess we'll find out. I really don't know. Kate, once again, like all this month, I'm flying blind here. I love that the titles are all, the font is made of bones.
That is kind of cute, actually, yeah.
You know, I'm a sucker for black and white 1940s cartoons, so they got me right away. I'm in. It's just that thing where time compresses itself the further out you are. Like, in my mind, this movie came out shortly after Dracula, but it's been almost 20 years. So, like, how weird that, like, now that would be so odd if you took a character from a movie 20 years ago and just randomly put them in a movie with 2 comedians. Be like The Rock and, what's his name? Kevin Hart meet, who's a horror movie monster from, like, 2003, The Grudge.
The Scream face.
Sure, right. Recognize him?
No.
That's Lon Chaney.
Lon Chaney's got great pants here.
Didn't they kill him in his movie?
I think so.
I'm sorry, Lon Chaney Jr.
Lou Costello is just like skipping around. He's barking at things. He has a tiny little tie.
Lou Costello seems like he'd be exhausting to be around.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming he didn't do this in his personal life, but
one would hope.
Everything he says is in a weird voice, a different weird voice. Me, a devoted Three Stooges fan. Curly is amazing. No problem with Curly. Lou Costello, I don't like him.
Lou Costello's punching up here.
His girlfriend, Sandra. See? Okay, they're acknowledging that this relationship makes no sense to anyone else. That's good. How supportive of a friend. Why are you with him?
Do they both have very short ties? I'm so confused. So Abbott and Costello are baggage claim handlers.
Something like that.
And Lon Chaney has called them to be like, don't deliver my packages until I arrive. Now we got Lon Chaney transforming on camera.
Amazing.
And someone just keeps sprinkling him with hair. Like, the special effects makeup here has not evolved much from the 30s, I feel like, right? He looks like he's wearing like a Brillo pad.
Now he's just growling into the phone. He called and like, please don't deliver the crates. And then he's like, oh no, the full moon, and transformed while on the phone with Lou Costello. He's just tearing up his room now. I'm just going to make a prediction, a positive prediction. We got a little bored during the previous 4 films. Maybe because there's so much going on in this one and comedy, it'll move a little quicker. There'll be more going on.
God, I wish. All right, so this entrepreneur person who owns this house of horrors is like, I'm getting Dracula's body and Frankenstein's body delivered to me. It's very confusing.
He's going to put him up in his house of horrors.
I can't tell if Costello is visibly sweating underneath his arms for effect, or if he's just a sweaty man.
Probably a little bit of both. I think they just took advantage of the real sweat and decided not to clean it up.
You know what? As someone who sweats more than the general population, I don't appreciate it. This is like when you look out of the airplane and you see people doing baggage handling and they're just throwing your stuff.
He's standing on top of the crate. It's like 30 feet in the air. Swing. I saw you chuckle at that physical comedy.
That was stupid.
Don't act like you're too good for this, Kate.
All right, so it's like a scary wax museum?
Yeah.
But why would the Scary Wax Museum acquire these corpses?
I think a true House of Horrors has wax figures, but it might have like scary relics, Necronomicons.
Like a bowl full of spaghetti that you have to blindfold yourself and
that
put your
might be
hands
one
in.
room. Yeah, in the Please Touch section of the House of Horrors. There's like medieval torture devices on display. Now Lou Costello gets to just walk through the House of Horrors delivering this, looking at stuff and going, oh, who do you owe? These packages are insured for $20,000 of 1948 money. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, there's like a sarcophagus in the background.
Yeah. And since it's the 40s, like a lot of this is like unethical.
Oh, yeah.
Sourced improperly, insensitive to the max.
We had the trademark Universal Woman laying down.
Hey, that's a wax figure. How different from a normal actress in these movies. Also, they are delivering what are known to be just 2 dead bodies. In the case of Frankenstein, multiple dead bodies. You probably could just ship human remains in the 40s.
Oh, yeah.
No questions asked.
Well, I think a lot of people's bodies were shipped home on trains, from World War II.
Were these guys too funny to serve or what?
Yeah, they were doing USO tours. Bela.
Here he is.
Let Bela do some hand acting here.
Just
coming out of the coffin.
Little hand peeking out, the sharp little nails.
The scene is entirely too long, but it is pretty funny.
Yeah, this whole thing where Dracula keeps peeking out of his coffin.
Also, an aging Bela Lugosi, like hoisting himself out of this coffin is pretty admirable.
Usually men his age have trouble like getting into a car that's too low. All right, Dracula's loose. It's great. We didn't need to watch all those movies because so far there are placards in the House of Horror which are being read aloud to us in full, describing both Dracula and Frankenstein's monster.
I'm upset with you.
It's like the IMDb summaries of both movies. The Wolfman, though, we got no context on. We still don't know what his connection is here to the other 2 monsters.
What is Bela doing?
Like, why did Dracula get out, hide in the background, and then climb back in? Uh-oh.
There he is.
So Frankenstein is just like packed in hay, basically.
Yeah.
Dracula was in a nice coffin. Frankenstein is loose in his crate.
Yeah, he's just in his hay, Tyler.
Looks like an Easter basket. Good. It looks like Dracula's power, what do they call that?
Hypnotized?
His power set has remained the same. Yeah, he can still use his hypnotizing eyes.
Yeah.
They still did a close-up, did the little lights on him. This is great. He's adding in a little weird hand gesture to his hypnotizing for some reason.
So here's my question. Bela was like, this movie surely is not serious enough for me.
He just didn't want Dracula to be the punchline, which so far isn't necessarily.
He's really digging through this hay to get to Frankenstein's monster.
You can just call him Frankenstein, Kate.
He's really digging through this hay to get to Frankenstein's monster very passionately.
Ooh.
Oh, and he's...
What?
He's shocking him back to life.
What's he holding, though? Like a battery?
Some kind of like, those portable batteries that they give, that you put in your car.
He just poked his neck bolts, some electricity shot, then he poked his eyelids.
So, Frankenstein's monster in the original Mary Shelley's Frankenstein looked much less like Herman Munster.
Yeah,
and now he just looks like Herman Munster.
Pretty much a perfect Herman Munster, which, again, Herman Munster won't exist for another 20 years, but... Also, did you catch that Frankenstein's monster just said a word? Did he talk at all?
No, he didn't talk at all in
the original. He
OG.
just called Dracula his master.
Huh.
This is a pretty frightening team up, Kate. Come on. You don't want both of these guys on the same side against you.
I feel like Frankenstein's monster has lifts in his shoes that could rival Donald Trump's. Why does Bela Lugosi have his mouth covered with his cape?
I don't know.
It's like a very odd choice.
He didn't do that really in the original, but that is a way we kind of picture Dracula in pop culture. Sure. So I don't know when that started, if it was here or in one of the Dracula sequels. Here's a bat.
I love a bat. I feel like Dracula just needed someone to carry around his stuff.
Yeah, he has Frankenstein carrying around his coffin
with his ancestral dirt. So now this bat is observing this man who we can maybe assume is Dr. Frankenstein, maybe not.
He might just be a new scientist.
He's got a gurney.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
The bat just transformed on screen, and they did some 2D animation to do it. Wasn't terrible.
It wasn't great.
I mean, in the original Dracula, we never saw a transformation to the point where I was confused it was supposed to be him.
I need you to look at the size of that knocker.
Oh,
that door knocker is... absolutely massive.
It's like a boat steering wheel. Sandra, I think she's double crossing.
Oh, man. Costello's girlfriend, who I was really rooting for her to actually like him for him, is some kind of German doctor agent lady. And as much as I love a woman in STEM, I am sad for Costello. A major plot point is that Frankenstein needs a new brain because he's too smart. He's too willful. His brain was too abnormal. So it appears that Sandra, Costello's girlfriend, has chosen Costello to be the new brain for Frankenstein.
Because she sees how subservient he is to Abbott.
And dumb. Here's Lon Chaney.
No longer a wolf? I guess it's a different
he's
day.
A man now.
It's not the full moon anymore.
So when he becomes the Wolfman, can he just not control his impulses?
Yeah, I believe so. That's what we saw in the Wolfman, right? Remember, he was like murdering townspeople. That's why he, as a human, just begged Costello to lock him in his room and don't open it no matter what. Okay, so the insurance investigator to find the missing Frankenstein and Dracula bodies is going to use her sex appeal.
Yep.
To get Costello because they suspect that Abbott and Costello stole the bodies. Even though really they just got up and walked away when no one was looking. So she's going to try to trick Costello by seducing him. This is awesome. He's got two beautiful women in this movie trying to seduce him for different reasons.
You could hide in the pleats on Abbott and Costello's pants. Costello's done this laugh a few times that is just him going, ha 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 ha.
Like when he's kind of nervous.
It's just an odd little elfish laugh,
Yeah.
and I don't know if I like it or not.
I see you trying hard not to be comedically entertained by these two men so that at the end you don't have to say, all right, I kind of liked it. Kate, put your defenses down. It's okay. Let Abbott and Costello amuse you. No one will think less of you.
May we all have the confidence of Lou Costello.
Listen here, you bigamist.
All right, so they go in, and Talbot's room is destroyed. And they're just like, I must have drank too much rye whiskey.
What a bender he was on. That's
Completely
it. Just a casual, normal thing that's okay.
I feel like Costello does a lot of ambient skipping in this movie. Like he doesn't have to skip, but he does. The pacing on this movie is pretty weird.
It did slow down a little bit. You know, they're looking around so that we can get spooked. Let's see. That's me looking for something in our house.
Hey, Tyler, could you find my white pants, please?
Look,
staring directly
there they
at the
are.
white pants.
Kate, they're not in here.
They're not in here.
You never put them here.
I don't think you even have white pants.
I'm a little confused how the monster is alive if they haven't put Costello's brain in it yet.
He has a weak brain. He's in a weakened state.
Okay. But to maximize his power and really wake him up, they need a new brain because he's disobedient with his current brain.
Yes.
As we saw in the movie,
Like
Frankenstein.
me. It's like if you put my brain in there.
Oh, yeah, they would not use you. You don't do anything you don't want.
Look at those lifts. That little shriek that Costello just gave is very on brand for you.
Hey, when there's a really big spider, that surprises me. This is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting to watch Costello just scream and run away from monsters. It's finally happening. We got both Dracula and Frankenstein awake. What is the relationship between these two men?
Are they friends? Are they cousins?
It's
brothers?
It's just the one's always threatening to beat up the other one. Doesn't seem healthy. It's not a healthy friendship.
I feel like he's like really slapping him, you know? These two women are plotting how to kill each other now.
How do you feel about the fact that both women in this film, meaning all the women in this film, are duplicitous?
I kind of like it because I feel like they're a little less passive than usual. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nobody's laying down in a fainting chair like we assumed they would be based on all the other Universal monster movies.
We got kind of like a spy versus spy situation, you know? I just like that after getting a compliment, Costello gave Dracula a little snuggle. He just kind of like nuzzled into his arm. Yeah, it was actually very sweet.
His only other friend is just constantly negging him. He's starved for positive feedback. Also, does he not recognize Dracula from downstairs?
It's because he had his cloak over his face.
Because Dracula now is like sort of pretending he's this doctor up here, but he's done nothing from the neck up to disguise himself. He's still like pale, lipstick, dark slicked back hair. He's just in like a smoking jacket instead of his cape. Don't you wish you were a woman in the 40s who could get out of anything by saying you have a headache and that you must go directly to bed?
Ugh, sounds amazing. Oh no, his scary eyes.
I'm sure the Halloween costumes of 1948 were totally cool.
Yep,
Nothing
even
questionable.
Weird at all.
Oh, there's a headdress.
This looks like a mask that you owned as a kid, the masks that these guys are wearing.
Low quality Halloween masks.
Yep. Can you name some of the low quality Halloween masks that you have worn as a child with just like a black sweatshirt and weird gloves?
My go-to Halloween costumes, simple. There's a wolf mask, a werewolf mask, pretty scary one. I had the Scream mask one year. There's the Robber, which recently resurfaced. You've seen it.
Oh God.
It only goes up to your nose. It's like a hat, like a classic black domino mask and then a nose. So your whole mouth is out. Mask. There might have been a Dracula. I think there actually was a Dracula. Not exactly this Dracula, but, you know, the 90s updated Dracula mask. That's it.
Don't forget the Bullwinkle mask.
Bullwinkle was just a hat.
Bullwinkle wasn't even a full mask.
No.
Bullwinkle was just a hat
Bullwinkle was a hat.
that you wore with a...
Brown sweatshirt.
Yep.
White gloves. I think we had a gorilla mask too. I don't remember wearing that one, but I know we had it. Go check my mom's eBay listings. You'll find them. She just sold all of them, which disgusted me. The thought that anyone would buy. I buy a lot of stuff on eBay. People are buying used rubber Halloween masks. That's too gross even for me. Pretty bold of Dracula to attend the costume ball as Dracula. Or is it the perfect disguise?
I would say it's the perfect disguise, right?
Hiding in plain sight.
Yeah. Does he have to look at the moon?
I don't think he does, because we saw him transform at the beginning of the movie, and he was
Yeah,
just in a
that's true.
room on the phone.
All right, so Lon Chaney has noticed that the moon is out and then proceeded to begin getting fully nude, but was taken over by the wolf before he could get his shirt
What's he
and
trying to do,
pants
like
off.
make sure his clothes don't get ripped when he transforms?
Probably. Maybe he's only got one nice shirt.
He wants to fold it and put it away. But here he goes. We're the wolf man again.
Just a series of wacky hijinks. This is live-action Scooby-Doo's.
Some classic hijinks. The Wolfman happens to be wearing a very similar outfit to Bud Abbott, and Bud Abbott's Halloween costume is his normal outfit and a wolf mask. So, some
How much
mistaken
longer
identity.
will this be?
17 minutes.
17 minutes? Tyler, this felt very long still.
It did a little bit. My prediction
right.
at the beginning was incorrect. There's another animated transformation.
Yep.
And I mean,
And then-
it is a cartoon when he
Yeah,
transforms.
and then a bat on a string, which I love.
And it's chasing Costello.
You know I'll always stand a bat on a string.
I know we're both feeling a little bored right now, but I think it's picking up for the finale here.
I'm
I
bored.
think we're going to have 20 action-packed minutes here to the end.
I could be shopping online right now.
You are. Don't lie. Everyone can hear you scrolling on this new high-quality microphone.
What?
Brought to you by Shure Microphones. I wish.
He's gonna get rabies.
That's true. If a bat... PSA for anyone listening. If you get bit by a bat, or even if you suspect you might have been bit by a bat, get a rabies shot.
You really should go to the doctor.
Is it still a series of shots? Do you think it's just one yet?
I think it is a series still. You should at least go to the emergency room, or your local doctor, or clinic, or urgent care. The first rabies vaccine was introduced in 1885. 4 doses over 2 weeks. But if you already got the rabies vaccine as like a preventative situation, like if you're working with wild animals, you only need 1 dose. Sandra has to have like the classic Dr. Frankenstein smock situation with like the buttons along the collarbone, but it has to be a sexy one. It's got to be tailored and nipped in at the waist.
It's just so strange to watch Dracula operate all these crazy electronics that are supposed to bring Frankenstein
Kind of
back.
an odd choice, right?
It's like pulling levers and pushing buttons. There's huge arcs of electricity in the background. Got his magic magnet ring or whatever it is. Battery ring. A lot of looking around in this movie.
Tyler, why'd you make me watch this? Is he supposed to be 30?
Oh, wow.
People lived harder then, I think.
In real life, he's like 42? Yeah, he's born in 1906, and this came out in 1948, so he's 42. They have him say he's 30, that's pretty funny. Maybe that's a joke. I wish I could have seen this. If I had a time machine, I wouldn't prevent any atrocities. I would just go see this movie with a crowd. I would love to see this getting huge laughs with an audience of the time. Because we're not laughing too hard. We got some good chuckles earlier, but I feel like neither of us have laughed in a while.
Yeah. Well, it's all the same shtick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they've done the same thing like 25 times.
Well, to go back to my point that, you know, the Three Stooges are where it's at least they knew to just make 2 real comedies. So by the time you get tired of their shtick, it's only been 18 minutes or whatever. A lot of fat shaming in this.
Yeah, it's like very fat phobic. Bela Lugosi's hand is very expressive.
It's like when he's doing hypnosis, he does these weird hand motions, even though like right now, is he even looking at him?
No.
He's just in a different room and he's like beckoning him back.
He's using his weird hand.
Because he hypnotized him earlier, I guess. What happened to Joan anyway?
She got hypnotized.
By who?
Maybe she got bit.
We didn't see it though.
She got bitnotized.
So both of the strong-willed women you were appreciating earlier appear to have been hypnotized.
I know.
And are now under the control of men and are just kind of like padding around sometimes, going, "Yes, master." At least Sandra is still performing an operation, but she has been turned. I think she's like a full-on vampire now, right? He bit her, he hypnotized her, and she's still alive, so doesn't that mean she's been turned? And she was using vampire hypnosis on Costello, right? Remember, there were little bats in her eyes?
The weird ADR sounds are so funny because Lon Chaney isn't moving his mouth at all.
Right. Same thing happened in the Wolfman movie.
Like...
The growling is like, yeah, his mouth will just be a little bit open and you'll hear like very rolling growls.
Tyler, this is silly.
Well, that was their intention. They have succeeded. Like all these movies, a little slow at times. It is 1 hour and 16 minutes into this 1 hour and 22-minute movie, and finally everything's popping off. Frankenstein has loosened himself from his restraints. The Wolfman is transformed. They're about to take out Costello's brain. I know my attention span is ruined, but I wish stuff like this had happened earlier in the movie.
So Frankenstein just got up from the gurney and threw the...
Sandra?
The
doctor, yeah.
The doctor. She threw Sandra right out the window.
Yeah, she's dead. He threw her to her death. Because we saw how high up the operating room was from outside. We saw the lights on in there. It's like second to or third story or higher. Come on, they just barricaded a door, but it opened the other way. Classic.
I feel like they do a lot of holding onto each other's belts and waistbands.
Yeah. Dracula's just throwing potted plants at the Wolfman to try to beat him.
And Bella said that this wasn't too silly.
They're fighting with a chair now, like pro wrestling. They did the tablecloth thing where you pull a tablecloth off.
Yeah, and then Costello just like mugged to the camera.
He broke the fourth wall. Look at this bit. He's pretending he's Dracula. Why did they save all this for the end?
They defeated him with a velvet tablecloth.
He just pretended he was Dracula to trick Frankenstein. This is awesome.
That's me getting up in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Frankenstein's eyes, have not fully opened yet. Because I guess they need to complete the operation.
He's just echolocating?
I just can't get over Dracula and the Wolfman fighting with a chair. All right, Dracula to escape. The Wolfman turned into a bat, but the Wolfman was too quick. He jumped off the balcony and grabbed the bat. They're both in the water. Oh, this rules.
Who's this?
Oh, this is McDougal, right?
And the insurance man?
Yeah, I think so. McDougal, the guy who owned the House of Horrors, who's been convinced Abbott and Costello stole the bodies the whole time. Frankenstein's just throwing barrels at them from the dock. It's like Donkey Kong.
All right, here's Universal Pictures again, playing fast and loose with fire.
Poor Frankenstein always has to burn up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he's on a burning dock. At least it's a dock, so if it burns, it'll fall into the water.
I feel like the special effects makeup that they're using, too, is, like, extremely flammable. You know what I mean?
What'd you think of that punchline?
Was not great.
The Invisible Man on the boat? Little gag at the end. Did you recognize his voice? It was not the original actor, but it is a very famous actor.
I don't know.
It was Vincent Price.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could hear it now that I think about it.
Well, he won't chase us anymore. And another thing, Mr. Chick Young, the next time that I tell you that I saw something when I saw it, you believe me that I saw it.
Oh, relax. Now that we've seen the last of Dracula, the Wolfman and the monster, there's nobody to frighten us anymore.
Oh, that's too bad. I was hoping to get in on the excitement.
Who said that?
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the Invisible Man.
I feel like it started off pretty strong, but then once you realize it's just the same bit over and over and over again, I found myself wanting this movie to be over.
Yeah, and truthfully, I felt like there weren't, like, if you had to sit there and, like, with a notebook and take notes and number how many times they did comedic routines, it wasn't that as many times as you would have I would have guessed. You know, it's like Dracula's coffin was the first big sort of sketch.
That was kind of funny.
That was okay. It was like the first really funny thing they did. And then when did they do another routine? Like ever? You know what I mean? Like there was the one where the locking the Wolfman in his room, which wasn't super funny. And then maybe when they're in the basement and they find the monsters and then it's like the door spinning around, but that was it. And then a big chase at the end, which that did make me laugh a few times just because it was just so much going on.
I like looking at all those high-waisted pants with big pleats.
That's about it though.
Yeah, they're back in.
I had higher hopes for this film. I feel
too.
like it's got a pretty good reputation in terms of like a fun take on the old horror movies, but I almost would rather just rewatch most of the actual original movies these characters originated in. What about you? If you had to watch one of these again of your own free will?
One of them? I gotta pick one? Mm-hmm. You know what I would pick? I would pick the Invisible Man because of how naughty he is.
Yeah, the Invisible Man's a good one.
I liked his energy. He seemed mean.
Yeah.
And wild.
For me, Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Invisible Man were definitely all fine. All fine by me. The Wolfman, unfortunately, didn't enjoy too much. And this,
that was a real stinker.
This I really want to like.
Yeah.
And I just,
Oh, and don't forget about The Mummy.
Oh, I totally forgot that existed. I know he wasn't in this film. We have to wait till Abbott and Costello meet the Mummy, which is not Boris Karloff, unfortunately. Yeah, no, I wouldn't really rewatch the Mummy either. All right. Well, thank you, Kate, for watching these. I know they're all, we know that these are all kind of legendary, classic, canonical horror films. I think it was the right thing to watch them, but I'm personally a little disappointed in how much I didn't love them. Do you ever feel disappointed when you don't like, say, a show that I show you normally on this podcast, like Bobby's World?
I feel disappointed that I used my finite amount of life to watch it. No, not really. Not in the existential way that I feel like you're feeling disappointed right now.
I am. All right. Well, next week we'll watch something fun.
You think?
Yeah, haven't you been? You said you were going to prepare next week's episode. You still going to do it?
Yeah, I'll do it. Do I have to do research?
Yes, Kate. Welcome to my world. So next week, guys, we're done with Halloween. We're back to normal mode for a month before we start doing Christmas stuff. Katie is going to lead the episode for the first time ever.
This is terrible.
I can't wait. And I've always thought you would do this, like, way back in the day, we did Captain Planet, a show you liked.
Yeah, I made you do the research.
You made me do the research. This has happened a few times. Puzzle Place, never saw it, but you had. Made me do the research. I can't wait to see these tables turn next week. I'm going to bet $10 that when everybody tunes in next Wednesday, they're going to listen, and it's going to be me having done the research.
No, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to put in my own musical cues.
Oh, you're gonna edit it too?
No, I'm not. There's no way.
I would love you to edit it.
I'm going to heavily suggest the different musical cues that I want.
You're gonna sit there while I edit it and tell me what to do.
It's going to be incredibly well researched.
That sounds great.
What do you know about Cinderella myths?
Oh, don't give it, Kate. Don't give it away. Don't give it away. No.
What do you know?
Don't spoil it.
Do you know anything?
Don't spoil it. Are you asking me right now?
Yeah.
What do I know about Cinderella myths? Well, I know that they date back. I know that. That the Cinderella myth that Walt Disney adapted in 1950 is kind of a European thing, right? But most cultures have Cinderella, a version of the Cinderella myth. There's an older Chinese version that far predates the European version.
Well, why don't you do the research then?
Okay, would you like to borrow the notes I preemptively made for a Walt Disney Cinderella episode?
Yeah, give me those.
Just for so I did the notes, but you have to do the Drew Barrymore centric notes.
Don't even give it away.
All right, tune in next week for a movie Katie wants to watch that Katie is preparing some of the notes for. Thank you guys for sticking with us. We're so off topic. Thank you for sticking with us for Universal Monsters October. If you want to check out Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, just watch the ending chase scene on YouTube.
Yeah, honestly, the last
12
minutes.
4 minutes.
The last 12 minutes max.
Yeah.
That's really all you need.
Unfortunately.
The nation's top comics, Abbott and Costello. Petrified, but hilariously. Plus the dangerous and terrifying Wolfman, played by Lon Chaney. Plus that fiend out of a nightmare, the vampire Batman, Count Dracula, played by Bela Lugosi. Plus the most dreaded creature of them all, the Frankenstein monster, played by Glenn Strange. Plus a couple of luscious but designing females in the spookiest laugh fest on record.